Whenever you are ready.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Tuck, Board of Advisors. Thank you very much for having us here today. My name is Caroline. These are my colleagues Soha and Parm, and we are part of Polaris Consulting. Now, Reichman is an extremely unique company, and it's at a crossroads. It's at that point in the road where it's grown for a couple years, it's realized some of its potential, but the next steps are crucial to its survival. So what we've identified here is that Reichman is at that crossroads and needs to figure out how it's going to survive in the short term in order to make its long-term vision a reality. And so that's what we're here to solve for you today. And some of the key issues that we've identified is that, as of course a startup, you have limited resources. And as well, you're having difficulty in attracting users, building that base, and building a client base as well. And so as our recommendation, we recommend that you aggressively pursue a university strategy of garnering a strong user base so that you'll be able to attract the clients that you need to attract in order to survive. And as a long-term impact, what we want to see for your company is that you become the key recruitment tool for employers who need students.
Potential. That is the key word that defines your company at this point in time. You have, to a certain extent, redefined or evolved the way that employers can try to recruit new students or new graduates. And now what you're looking for is to actually build on that and make Reichman the only way, or the main way to do so in the future. By 2020, that is the vision that we see for you, and the vision that you have discussed and told us is what you also want. Now, doing things differently. What we mean by that is Reichman has changed the way that post-secondary students can connect with and try to get a job with employers. Employers have recognized that the resume may not be the best tool anymore to evaluate a post-secondary student or a graduate fresh out of university. I myself, before getting this consulting job, was guilty of having my grade 7 class president experience listed on my resume. Have been the best indication of my talent, even though as you see out here today, I'm doing quite well for myself. Now landing employers and students. That is the key to success for your company moving forward, because that's what your company does. Your company connects these employers and these students, and as with any type of networking kind of business, that's the key to success. But in the short term, in the early years, building up this user base is key, but it's very hard. And until you can reach that critical mass, it's hard to post revenue, post profit that your company needs. Now, you're not expecting positive cash flow up until 2019. And this is based on the reason that you need to continue to make significant technological investments. You need to continually improve this service that you have and continually add to this, as well as you need to continually market. As I said before, you need to get that user base to critical mass, as well as customer acquisition is going to be expensive in any regard. Now, the way to do this moving forward, you will be needing angel investment from your angel investors within their start of 2015 in order to continually operate, to be able to continue operating throughout the year. Now, you will also need more investment by the end of the year because, as you can tell, the company is a startup that has a lot of potential, but you need to really be mindful of your resources and make sure that any efforts that you do stay within your capabilities. And when you take this investment, your key initiatives will be on increasing the number of students that you have as your client base, as well as the number of employers posting projects. Now, to increase the number of postings, you're going to need to continually provide value for the employers who are looking to increase their brand awareness, add those complementary skills that these students can add with these projects, as well as there's other opportunities such as Randstad that we recognized who look to expand their potential to sell through your company. So there's opportunities with that we see. Now, the value of networks comes from the user. And we see that reaching critical mass is one of the key things that you need to do. And once you do that, you're able to continually post revenue and post profits. Because right now, only 7% of your current sales and current project postings come from people who have not been contacted by Reichman They simply find your organization, your business, and they post on there, and they don't have any contact with your sales team. But the goal is that this number is increased to 50%, to 60%, so that once your business is set up, the technology is already there. You don't have to do anything because everyone knows that Ripen is where you need to go when you're looking to hire these postgraduate students, these young graduates. Now, right now, managing your resources. We're looking at increasing your monthly burn to $7,000 per month to continually add marketing efforts as well as to increase your technological capabilities. $40,000 has been identified as what you need to do to make it out to those job fairs within Toronto, New York, and Vancouver, which is pivotal for your organization moving forward. And even after all that, you'll have about $146,000 based off your projected revenues for 2015, coming from the angel investors as well as the monthly revenues. Now, that number is very important, is because that's what you have to go out and try to attract new users as well as market your business and get that brand awareness out there. And you need to stay within that confines, because without that, your company survival is very much threatened. So whatever type of initiative that you consider, you need to carefully consider what your capabilities and your resources are. Now, delving into what you have to look after.
So Ripen has a lot of opportunities in front of it. One thing that you identified to us in our debriefing was your upcoming meeting with Freelancer. And then there are also other opportunities of focusing in niche markets. Currently you're serving quite a large segment of employers. And the third one is building Ripen's user base. Looking into the first one, exploring the acquisition or partnership opportunities. As you mentioned to us, your services have been recognized not only by the users that you're targeting, but also by industry leaders, such as Freelancer and Randstad. Now, we know that you have an upcoming meeting with Freelancer, and we all know that it's not a meeting to discuss how you're doing. They are going to make an offer, and the question is, should you accept it, or should you not? Well, my question to you is, why is Freelancer giving you an offer? It is a really big company. What do they see in you, and what do they plan to do with you? And your answer here is to see what they do for you and build it for yourself. You have the ability to do it. You have the ability to turn their vision, to turn your vision into a reality. Your vision was to help students get jobs as you were students in your own place. You thought that you in the market, you thought that you needed an experience to get a job, and you needed a job to get that experience. And you set out to change that. When Freelancer comes in, it won't follow that mission. It won't help you help students. It will use you for its own benefits, and we can't let that happen. So this, we feel, is not a good alternative for you, not a good option for you to pursue, and anyone who tells you that this is a good option for you to pursue does not have your best interests at heart. But here at Polaris Consulting, we do. So now looking at your customer segment. You are servicing startups, small companies, not-for-profits, and a wide variety of big companies as well. You can focus on small businesses and startup enterprises that are looking for that project-based work that they can outsource, and they are having difficulty having these services in-house, and they can really benefit from your value proposition. But the key thing here again is to focus on your user base, the students. Do all students really want to go work in startups? Think of yourself as students. When you were in university, you wanted to go work for McLean, PwC, KPMG, any other big company out there, Google, Facebook. So these students also want that big company exposure. They want that big title on their resume, although we are trying to move away from the resume-based work and focus more on project-based work. But they want to showcase that they have worked with big clients. They can be in the big world. Even though they're students, they can compete with a 30-year-old businessman as well. So while this option may help you with your clients and get you that project work you need, it will not benefit your user base, your students in the long term. The third option, to attract the big companies and the small companies that the students are looking for, build that user base and attract them. You can do this through strategic partnerships. You will see that by increasing the user base, you will see an increase in the clients you're acquiring, and which will ultimately lead to an increase in revenue. There is the issue of limited resources, but through the recommendation here at Polaris Consulting, we will help you turn this vision into a reality. As you can see, this is the option we recommend for you because it covers your increase in user base, increase in client base, and long-term sustainable growth that you can achieve without the help of any third-party buyer. So moving forward, we want Ripen to be the key platform that students use for recruitment purposes as well as big companies. In the short term, we want you to increase that user base and build the strong roots you need to really grow in the big forest that is huddled with Monster and Freelancer and LinkedIn. You have the capabilities to do it, and here at Polaris Consulting, we're going to give you the right nutrients to grow. Second, you also need to focus on establishing those clients and really locking them in. We have so much talent, not here just in Canada, but across the world as well. Think of it this way. The students that you're serving are the leaders of tomorrow. You are helping them get their first job. This person could be the next CEO. And these big companies realize that. They want these students. So we are giving them a platform that makes it easier for them to connect with the talent of tomorrow. That's the goal here at Polaris Consulting that we have for you. You are going to focus on attracting that user base. In Canada, we have first-class universities. You realize that we have so much talent here, and universities are the key partnership that you need to make in order to grow your user base. First and foremost, we will do this by interacting with professors and adapting their learning process to something that serves our purpose, which is to give these users, give these students real-life experience, not the case experience or made-up activities they do in class. By partnering with university professors and university classrooms and giving them the project management platform that they need that is Ripen, the university professors will be able to issue project management services by making one project that a class of 50 students can do and showcase in real life their talent that they've done. There won't be need for an A+ on a transcript. They can say, I learned this, I learned leadership skills, public speaking skills, project management skills, implementation, recommendation, anything. They won't be limited to one letter on their transcript. Ripen will help them get that academic merit. Once you've acquired this user base, you're going to use it to attract big clients. It is very important to leverage this user base. These big companies realize that they need new talent, and they need to train these leaders for future positions. And we're going to give them this user base in one compact platform that is Ripen. We will be adapting our subscription model as well to fit their needs and attracting them. Getting to the user base is key, but also maintaining these relationships with employers are very, very crucial. There is a large recruitment landscape and large opportunities for them to go out with other companies. So it is very crucial for you to go and meet with these big companies and help them change their thinking process and adapt to the changing business school environment as well as the business world environment, where just everybody has a university degree. But what sets them apart is the work they're doing outside of that classroom and the skills they're making outside of the classroom, and it's your job to help them realize that. And you will see, you will reap the benefits of all the hard work that you're putting in. In year one, we see your target student user base growing to $100,000 to $150,000 just from Canadian universities. Secondly, you will also see that not only will you break even and reach your goal of 75 jobs per month, but in fact surpass that to have 100 to 150 jobs per month and turn a profit in year 5. Ripen is on its way to capture that world of opportunities. It has realized that there is a changing business world and it needed an innovative platform, and you created it. Your website is one of a kind. It offers so much value not to users, but as well as big companies and employers as well. What you need to do is adapt that model to the classroom environment and capture that world of opportunities. In the long term, we also see you expanding to international markets, and I'll let my colleague Caroline walk you through our implementation plan.
So before I go too much in detail into exactly what your next steps are, I wanted to go over a high-level overview of exactly what this plan is. So in the short term, we've identified that we need to expand our user base, and that is going to be the key to attracting those medium to large-sized clients. And that, in turn, is going to be what creates Ripen into a well-known brand. So in the short term, what we are going to do is target those universities, and we've identified 3 different areas where you'll be able to access the greatest amount of students. So in the short term, what's going to be extremely important is that you begin to communicate the educational opportunity to your current clients. You will need to get some of your current clients who are already posting projects on board with using their projects as an educational tool. So you'll need to begin beginning those communications. Additionally, you'll need to start preparing to aggressively target those new schools, and we've identified 30 schools within Canada that you will need to identify from east to west, from McGill to UBC, It's going to be important that you target as many as possible, including the institutes of technology as well. And what will also be crucial here is that you begin honing in on exactly what kind of projects you want. Where you're going to see the most benefit and most value for your students is that project-based work. So work that includes technology, work that includes different business projects, administrative work, data entry. There are so many opportunities for that to be included in statistics classes, in business classes, in MIS classes. There really is a lot of opportunities here, but you will need to act fast within the next few days. Additionally, some key events that are occurring within the next 4 months is you will be obtaining your first round of seeding, estimated at 200,000, as you already know. And very importantly, Ripen 3.0 will be live. And this is going to be very important to get those schools and those students on board. So within the summer months, May to August of 2015, you will have already begun your planning phase of exactly how you're going to access the different university markets. Now is where you actually begin to take those first steps. And we have identified that to complete this incredibly large project, you will need to hire 2 additional people just to take care of those university relations. Now, what they will be doing is first talking to school administrators, deans, professors. They are going to be the ones who you'll need to pitch to get your projects included in their classroom settings. Now, one excellent benefit for the universities is that they get to advertise that they're that they're an innovative school, that they're going to be ahead of the curve, that they're going to be actually teaching their students about real business, real technology, etc. So this is going to be a key benefit that you need to play up in these pitches. Additionally, in addition to administrative side, you're going to need to pitch to different clubs and associations. So every campus has business associations, SciA associations, science associations, etc. And what they often do is actually teach internally their own students about the different skills that they're going to need in the job market. So this is going to be a key area where you'll be able to capitalize. You can speak with them and advertise that you can allow them to use your projects as a teaching mechanism internally within the clubs. And you'll see that this is also going to be an area where you'll see your awareness grow as well. And then finally, career management centers are going to be a key area. And this is going to be one more place where you'll be pitching. Ideally, what we envision for you is to be able to create this to be part of really the co-op process or the career counseling process for post-graduation. We want your brand to be integrated into the learnings, into the list of resources that are available to students as is. So what this is going to do is increase your brand awareness among users. And once you're able to get that critical mass of user base within your first year, you'll see that you'll be able to attract those medium to large size clients. And so in the long term, this is where you'll see your projects actually begin to see fruition. And you'll see the students start coming on board and those numbers start to really scale. Now, as a long-term plan, and this is what you'll be talking to, here we'll be shifting gears a little bit. This is where you'll be communicating to your angel investors exactly what the steps going forward are. Now, you used that aggressive university marketing tactics of getting a user base. Now this is where you'll see it start to pay off. So what we see as one area of leverage for you is to establish a cross-selling partnership with Randstad. We would like to see for you a deal that includes a 5% cut of the deal that Randstad currently has with its employers, and additionally some access to their employer list for your own use. And additionally, we can go into this a little bit more in our Q&A, but we do envision for you international expansion, definitely within the United States due to their large university population. So just to walk you through what we've done here. We've recognized that you need to make some big, bold steps forward to really carve out a strategy for yourself. And we've identified as key resources, key issues, your limited resources, and the fact that you need to attract a user base fast. So what we did was create an aggressive strategy to attract those users so that you can see yourself carve out a place in the medium to large size business, which is where you want to be ultimately. questions?
What are the risks associated with your plan of really focusing in on universities as opposed to companies?
Well, one of the risks that we identified was actually that freelancer would move in first and be able to snatch that market away from you due to their large size. So what we suggest for you to mitigate that risk is to really emphasize the project portion of it, and because at the end of the day, the jobs on freelancer are only going to be temporary, and you're going to need that experience anyways, so you'll be able to give them that experience right away.
Have you done some annual projections, and do you have any sense of when the company will start to turn a profit, or how it will be doing in the next 5 years?
We, based off of your initial projection on going with the status quo, there's a small chance that you'll be able to turn profit within year 5. But we believe with following this recommendation, you'll be able to grow your user base quite quickly, that year 5 is the latest that you'll be able to turn profit, and then we see that you will be able to reach that goal maybe quite a bit earlier.
You indicated that one of the key issues is to attract a large user base quickly. And I understand your recommendation. Your longer term, your medium term is to establish a partnership with Randstad. If you implemented that in the short term, would that also give you a large user base fairly quickly?
We believe that to construct a deal is the one that we recommended, where there'll be cross-selling opportunities and you'll be able to take a cut of the placement fee that Randstad gets. That you'll need to be able to offer a larger client base to Randstad for them to agree to such a deal. And so that's the reason you'll need to really grow that user base early on in the first year before starting a deal like that with Randstad. Of course, you could try to within the first year, but we believe that there'll be a much higher chance of success once you grow that user base.
I have a quick question about your short-term implementation of May to August, and that's when the roadshow should happen. School's out, and so how are we supposed to talk with school clubs?
School clubs operate throughout the summertime. In fact, that is generally an area where they do much of their preparation for their upcoming programs. You'll be targeting the well-established clubs, no ping pong clubs or anything like that. So those well-established clubs will have that infrastructure in place. Additionally, this is when administrators are also planning for the future. So this is actually a key time for you to enter.
Your approach to attracting users is fairly resource intensive. The road shows and things at a time. Can you talk about any other, or think about any other ways of attracting the larger user groups that you're looking for?
So we realize that student clubs are one main focus, but another way for you to integrate yourself into the university lifestyle is to partner with university professors, as well as extracurricular activities that happen throughout Western Canada that attract students but are not part of a university, such as workshops, case competitions, other project management or workshop series that happen that help them develop these skills that happen outside of university, such as we have programs where youth management programs held by youth employment counselors in municipalities and cities. There's one thing that you can focus on as well to increase your user base, but you will have a much larger chance of success if you target universities, but it's a large concentrated population of dedicated students who are looking to get their first job and who have the right expertise to do so, the right motivation as well.
Related, because it is resource intensive, is and where you're requiring or your suggestion is 2 more people to be added on. Is 200,000 now enough money, or do we need to increase that?
We believe that with the 2 extra people, there'll be part-time employees that will be helping out where there is peak opportunities to do so, and that with the increased effort on as well as getting more postings above the 75 break even, we believe there'll be enough to cover within the short term without incurring any sort of losses or any kind of debt.
How many universities are you targeting? 30?
30 within Canada.
With
within
2
the first
part-time employees?
Yes.
With 2 part-time employees as well as communication with the internal staff, that will be done with emails and packages and inform the university students as well as the clubs of what kind of offering that Ripen has.
Can you foresee any other type of?
Please stop.